This is the face of Muna Gebla, who set off a homemade bomb in the Tunisian capital. A 30-year-old business graduate, she'd been unable to find a job in her chosen profession, working instead looking after flocks of sheep. The question is being asked, was it those years of unemployment that radicalized her, losing all hope of a future? More than 15% of 11 million Tunisians have no work. In the Tunis suburb of Etadamon, the total is much higher. Many here fill their days by playing cards in cafes. The dreams their revolution would bring them a better life have vanished. Abdel asked us, where is the future? I am 50 years old and have never even been able to afford a bicycle.
Only God keeps us alive. No one else is helping us.
Across the street, a shopkeeper called Ezzadine said inflation and unemployment were killing his business.
In general, the situation is not good at all. People can't afford to pay me. Maybe something later, but never the whole amount.
He showed us the ledgers where the names and debts were written. Some families have owed him money for the last 8 years. They go from crisis to crisis, he said. Suburbs like these have proved a breeding ground for ISIL. Thousands of Tunisians are fighting abroad. Of all the problems, though, the most resented here is what they describe as rampant corruption. The head of the association set up
In Tunisia, the fight against corruption is facing many difficulties. People feel that fighting it is like committing suicide.
There have been a total of 7 prime ministers since the revolution here, and the balance of power is changing rapidly. The moderate Islamist party, Ennahda, and its coalition with the secular forces is fraying ahead of expected elections next year.
Well, in Parliament, it's a continuous reshuffling. We are seeing a continuous political game, partisan game in the Parliament.
The revolution here inspired the spread of the Arab Spring. The fighting is still going on in Syria, but in the country where it was born, democracy is clinging on while disillusion grows.